Hi there! It's Karnage from Karnage World, and we have another re-upload here. One of my earlier videos, for those of you who had been here since the beginning of the couple of years. Karnage World Re-upload is just a series where I am re-uploading some of my older videos, which I had taken down quite some time ago. But because I still own these toys, and quite like them a bit, because I think there may be some level of interest for some of these, and so you would be able to have the video here as reference. Well, here's a look at the box. The front window is pretty large, letting you see most of the entire figure inside. Now you can probably tell that this is not a licensed product, no official logos anywhere. So if you are an original only collector, this toy is not for you. Nice graphics at the back, some product info, picture of the Hulkbuster on the side, not much on the top, Avengers Infinity War, nada at the bottom. So now we get to opening the box. See the shadow there? Well, this is a time where I haven't really figured out my lighting yet, so bear with me. Well, the figure itself is pretty hefty and sure doesn't feel like a cheap plastic toy. It's got a nice metallic red with nice silver paint, clean for the most part. While the gold is, I feel, a little on the dark side. I would have gone for lighter gold myself. A look around the back. Well, one thing's for sure, they didn't skim on the details. One of the reasons I like this figure was the sheer amount of details on this thing, given the price point. It doesn't feel like a 5-year-old's cheapo toy, rather more like a collector's display piece, you know. I mean, yeah, well, it doesn't articulate, and it's got the screws rather visible on the back. Well, I think for a mech suit, the screws aren't that bad. Plus, it's decked with details. No doubt, you do have some bleeding here and there, but not so serious. Prior to getting the figure, I am aware that it is meant to be a statuesque thing, so there will be little to no articulation. As you can see, the head actually articulates just a bit. Well, I didn't go for the entire 360-degree rotation test because it felt a little tight and I don't want to break the entire head off. Speaking of which, would it be super surprising if there was a tiny Mark Ruffalo head peeking out after I did that? So right now I'm testing the arms, the torso, for any semblance of articulation. None whatsoever. A look at the sole of the feet. Now they totally could have skipped this step of sculpting, being that it's not visible on display. But look at the nice details. And now for the main reason why and I think most of you might want the figure for. Boom! The LED lights on this thing. There are bright LED lights built into this thing on the eyes, the arc reactor, and various spots on the torso. At the knees. Is that it? No. Let's head around the back. There's one big light just below the head. See the two round spots on the leg? I'm thinking that they should actually light up too, but for some reason mine doesn't. And here's the switch to which all the lights are connected to. Pretty cool. Here it is in a dark room. Well, not pitch dark or anything, but you can see it acts pretty well as a sort of night light. And you have seen that it's pretty bright even in a lit room. So you also get the USB cable that comes with it for charging the battery that runs those lights. The port for the cable is at the back, beside the button. You can't miss it. A little gripe here. I think the placement of the port could have been a little bit more clever, given that the port itself kind of resembles some of the details on the back. So maybe they could have somehow worked it into the sculpt, but it's not a big deal. So the height of this figure is about 18.5 centimeters. width about 15 centimeters. Here is a comparison with the Marvel Legends Mark 7. It is definitely quite a bit undersized, but then again, so is the price point. So you get what you pay for. Well, in my opinion, for this figure, actually you get a little more than what you pay for. Alright, next is the comparison with the Marvel Legends Age of Ultron Hulkbuster, which I had to film at a different location, obviously, because that's where I stored it. You can see that the Marvel Legends one is markedly bigger. Alright, so now we are at the end of the video. While this Infinity War version of Hulkbuster is merely a statue, with only the head being able to articulate, I get over that downside pretty fast. The main reason being that the official Hulkbuster articulation isn't that fantastic either. I mean, yeah, the arms, legs and torso do move, but it doesn't get into much dynamic poses. I mean, it doesn't articulate enough to where I can pose it looking nice in my eye. So most of the times he's just in that one stoic superhero pose. Kinda like the statue, you know. Anyway, the main draw for me for this figure is the LED lights, which I absolutely love. The second is of course the details. I can tell a lot of effort has been put into sculpting the piece, and I appreciate it. Of course, the convenience of USB charging rather than having to scramble for batteries is a plus. So that concludes this editions of Kworld Reuploads. I am working on a review for the next one. I will sign off for now, my friend. You have a great day.